Hey Robert, this is Edgar with GDS Detailing.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Just wanted to let you know that we are done with your RV. I also wanted to let you know that we did run into an issue when I was moving one of the slide outs. In the kitchen area, you have that trash can, and as when I was moving it, I didn't really notice the trash can, and unfortunately, it smashed the side of your island. All right, so let me give you a little bit of backstory as far as what happened and how we were able to fix the RV. But if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to our video. I know some of you guys have been watching our videos, but you haven't subscribed, so go ahead and subscribe because that's really gonna help us out. So let's get into it. All right, so that day we had an appointment to wash an RV. So we get there, we talk to the customer, kind of just shows us what he wants us to do, what he wants us to focus on, and he also tells us what to be careful with. He told us about the slide outs whenever we move them, just to be careful with a certain area that he pointed out to me. So I got time to actually move the slide outs back in. So I was actually working on that myself while Nathan was working on something else. So I pressed the button and I immediately started hearing something, but I didn't really think anything of it because I knew that the seals that are there, they were wet. So once they were pushing in, they started making like a squeaking type noise. But you know what? I didn't think anything of it. It seemed like normal. So I was focusing on what the customer was telling me to look out for, which was a door that remained open. So you had to shut it closed because if you didn't, it would actually smash the door when the slide-ins, move back in. So I was mainly focused on that. And I wasn't able to see everything because there was a little hallway there and the slide out was coming in. And what I failed to notice is that there was a trash can right in front of the kitchen island. And what happened is the slide out was coming in, it was pushing in on the trash can, and it actually damaged the side of the wall there on the kitchen island. So immediately when I actually heard it, because I heard the crack and I heard it pushing forward, and I kept on pushing it because I didn't know what it was. And unfortunately, once I realized it, it was too late.
All right, Edgar. What you just explained was kind of crazy. When you first realized that the trash can smashed the cabinet, what were your first thoughts?
Well, I was pretty disappointed in myself just because this was not the first mistake I've made. Earlier last year, I ran into a pole while I was driving the customer's car and, I had to fix that. So knowing that I had to fix this RV kitchen island, it made me upset with myself. I was embarrassed. I was disappointed in myself. And since Nathan is my business partner, where we work together and everything, and this was going to be an expense that was going to have to come out of the, the business profits. So I was really disappointed just because, we're out here trying to make money, and Nathan's working hard, but I'm out here just making mistakes and costing the company money.
All right, so after you told me about the incident, what did we do after that? Did we run away? We didn't tell the customer, nobody's gonna know? Or did you call the customer? What happened?
Well, I immediately, talked to Nathan, and I told the customer what happened. I called them, kind of explained to him the situation. I apologized. I told him, first of all, we're not gonna charge you anything for this RV. We're gonna do it free of charge, and we're gonna fix it for you. So we gave the customer two options. And we have two main options that we could go about fixing this. The first one, it looks like it's something that maybe we shouldn't be able to fix because it's just a panel that's damaged. So it's a wood panel, so we could replace that. But if you need to take it to the RV dealership, you could go ahead and take it to get it fixed, and then we'll just pay for it.
So what did the customer want to do?
Well, he kind of asked me if I was going to do it, and I told him no, I would actually hire somebody to do it, just because even though it did look pretty simple, it didn't look very complicated. I knew that maybe it would be better if someone else that has more experience takes care of it. So the customer decided for us to fix it. That way he doesn't have to deal with the dealership. So I kind of just told him just to give me a few days while I found someone that would actually be able to fix it, and I could get an estimate, and then we could get everything that we needed to actually fix it. And he was okay with that. So I told him, I would call him back in like 3 days. I think it was a Tuesday. And I told him at least Friday or Saturday, I would have a response by then for him as far as when we could actually start the repairs.
So after we call the customer, what do we do next? What happened?
So once I called the customer, told him everything was going on, I immediately called my brother, just because he has a lot of experience in home remodeling. So I told him what happened, and I asked him, what he thought, and he told me that it was going to be a pretty straightforward fix. He didn't think it would be too complicated, and he said he would be able to fix it for us. So we immediately told him, yeah, let's do it, as soon as possible. So he told me to get a little sample of the wood that was damaged. That way we could get the same stain and match it up as close as possible. The damage happened like on a Tuesday, picked up everything that we needed on Wednesday, and by Thursday, we were already out there with my brother working on the RV. Yeah, my brother just started working, started doing his thing. I was kind of just, watching him. I helped him a little bit, but, I kind of let him do his thing just because he's more experienced. He knows what he's doing, and, we're paying him, so I'll let him take care of it. We did run into a small little issue while he was trying to cut the piece of wood. Right on his feet, there was actually a tarantula, and he didn't even notice it until he was actually about to cut the rest of the piece of wood. And it was like right there on his feet, so I thought it was pretty crazy.
When Edgar first told me, what was happening, I was like on the other side of the RV, and I had no idea what he was talking about, but he seemed just so concerned, so worried, and then he kind of just showed me, the kitchen, the cabinet that was damaged, and I was a little mad. I was like, I feel like this could have been avoidable, but it didn't really make sense for me to be mad because, accidents happen. Edgar didn't know. I probably would have made the same mistake myself. We just didn't know to look out for that trash can there. So I think it could have happened to anyone. So that's kind of like my first initial thought. So I just telling Edgar, it is what it is. Just don't worry about it. We do the customer right, do the repairs. Don't charge the customer. Tell them it's on us. We just take care of the customer. So at the end, were you able to fix it?
Yes, we did. My brother did his thing. He took care of it. He stained it. He cut the right holes. He measured it. He did all the things he needed to do. And yeah, we put it back on. The shade was a little bit off. We couldn't match it exactly just because of the materials that we use. We use actual wood versus what the actual RV has is more of like a laminate / plastic type. It's not real wood, so it just doesn't match. Even though it's technically the same color, just because it's on a different surface, it's just a shade off. But I called the customer, I told him to come over, to take a look at it, and he was happy with it. I did explain to him that the shade was a little bit off, but he said it's fine. You can't hardly see it, so he was just happy with that we were able to fix it.
So how much money did we lose? Because we were supposed to get $400 for the RV wash.
Yeah, so on supplies, I spent about like $80 between the stain, the piece of wood, and a few other accessories that we needed. About $80. And my brother, I paid him $150. And obviously, we did all the work for the RV, and then we told the customer that we weren't going to charge them anything. So it was $400 that we weren't going to get. But the customer actually surprised me. And he said, you know what? You guys did a good job. You guys did the work for the RV. He said it wouldn't be fair for him not to pay us. Once he told me that, I didn't want to take his money because, I wanted the customer to be happy that we, took care of it. We did a good job on the actual RV wash. We made a mistake, but we took care of him. So I think it would be fair that we don't charge him anything at all. But the customer kept on insisting that, we did the work. We deserve to be paid, even though, a mistake did happen. And he insisted, hey, no, give me the link. I need to pay you guys. You guys did the work, let me reward you for it. So he did it at the end. We said, okay, pay us, whatever you think it's fair. And he paid us the full amount. So I was happy that he paid us, even though I wasn't expecting it. I was already thinking it was going to be like a $400 loss, but he still paid us, which is pretty amazing. I know a lot of times, you run into these type of issues and you lose a lot of money and then the customer's upset. But overall, this was a good learning experience for us. So mistakes do happen, and if you're trying to be successful, you need to handle yourself better than what a cheap pop-up detailer would do. And we could easily change our business name, start a different business, in detailing and just not knowing up to our mistakes. But what's gonna separate you from that pop-up detailer is how you handle yourself. What you do in these type of situations. Because now we took care of the customer.
He's gonna remember what we did for him, and he's gonna be a great referral for us because he knows that we're here for the long term. We're not here to make a quick buck. We wanna establish a company that's gonna be here for many years to come. So go ahead and you subscribe to us. That way you can see everything that's going on in our detailing business. You can see the good part of detailing and even the bad things that do happen, because it's not always gonna be, you know, perfect, you know, ceramic coatings every day. There's gonna be mistakes that happen. So go ahead and subscribe so you can see everything that's going on in our detailing business.